seen here in the saddle tan. It is also available in a vintage brown and a raven black that all come in at $200.23 USD. And then we have both a green.
Okay, $200.23 USD. Now, basically, as soon as this video went live, I was hearing discrepancies on the price, which I immediately went and checked, and they are, I'm going to show you right now, $349.99 USD. Now, in case you did see that and missed this, I did pin a comment, and I'm going to read this to you. There seems to be a price discrepancy. I filmed this video, that being the unboxing that I just showed, that clip is from, on January 23rd at 6:07 p.m. I went back, that is the timestamp on the files from the camera on the memory card. This video went live Monday, January 26th at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there's 3 days span between when I got these and filmed it, and I literally filmed these the day that they landed on my doorstep, like probably within a half an hour. I was wrapping up a video and I heard something downstairs, and this was what I had heard. In the time frame, the price went from being what I listed of $200 and what I say 27 cents. I intentionally played that clip because I knew I wasn't going to remember the change. So basically $200 up to $350. When I film, as I do now, I take notes, paper notes in my notebook of about like my thoughts on them. And I usually read them back before I film, but the specs and stuff I take directly from my phone, so I make sure everything is accurate, up to date. That's also in here when I film the reading prices and specs, I read them off my phone. I read the prices from the manufacturer's website, which is what I did. I read that from Craft and Glory's website at the time, and I would not have been able to make up that weird $200.27 USD. That's just an odd price to me. I was also informed back in November 24th, 2025, this was by someone, a commenter, that the prices were $300 to $420. They do offer this boot in different leathers, so that will make the price vary. So this makes me look like a fool. I have reached out to Craft and Glory for clarification. I will report back when or if I hear anything. Yeah, that makes me sound like I'm an idiot, because I basically said these boots cost $150 less than they actually cost. And yes, I did reach out to Craft and Glory. And no, I never heard anything back from them. I actually reached out to them a couple times about different things, and I have not heard anything back from them. But I've now been testing these boots. It's been 3-4 weeks, because that video went out 3 days after I filmed them. So it is towards the end of February now, and I got a couple weeks of wear and some pretty good solid wear. We've had some pretty crappy weather, some freezing temperatures. We've had a foot of snow. So these have been out in the snow, the cold, salty conditions, all that super good stuff that's really good on leather. And to be honest, they've actually been really comfortable. These have been one of the more comfortable. Not to say that any of my other Craft and Glory boots aren't comfortable, because I found them all to be pretty comfortable. These might have been the most comfortable pair of Craft and Glory boots that I've had. And I think that's because I didn't swap out the insole. They do offer you the foam-backed insoles or the veg tan insoles, and I usually get the veg tan, and I think in the past they have sent me both to test out, and I do prefer a veg tan insole in my boots, because once you wear that in, it molds to your foot and it becomes basically your foot. Now this is a leather topped but a foam backer, and this is the first time I really use the foam, and they're not that thick at all. It's actually pretty thin, and these have been actually really comfortable. So I haven't swapped in a pair of veg tan insoles for these, so I have been wearing them, and honestly I found them to be really comfortable. So even though it seems like it is a thinner foam insole, it's actually a really comfortable insole, and these have a lot of solid wear. I've been wearing basically these and a pair of sneakers that I'm testing as my 2 main pieces of footwear for throughout the day, and then I have a different pair of like some slipper boots that I put on in the morning when it's freezing cold and I go outside to walk the dog in the morning when I get up at like 4:30 a.m. But all day long I'm either wearing these, the Craft and Glory Boondockers, which are $349.99 as I just showed you USD, or a pair of sneakers that I've been kind of rotating back and forth. And when it's been snowing or really crappy and really cold, these have been the go-to, and honestly they have been incredibly comfortable. So if you are torn between the insoles, while I do prefer a veg tan insole, I find that once they mold to your foot, they are basically a custom fit boot. The foam was actually really comfortable. I was a little surprised at how comfortable and how much I did enjoy it. So I have been wearing them like that, and they've been very comfortable. But I wanted to lead off by addressing that price discrepancy, because I still have not gotten any answers from Craft and Glory. So I'm gonna guess it was either some sort of glitch on the website, or even though it was showing me the dollar sign, it was displaying the prices in a different currency. So it must have just been some glitch, because I do actually look and read the prices and the specs directly off my phone when I film these videos. Again, I do keep a notebook, I keep paper notes, I jot stuff down, and that used to be, I used to write all the specs down and everything like that. And I noticed I was getting some wrong, because I'd write them down a day or two beforehand, and sometimes prices would change, things would go on sale, prices would rise. So I did start to read specs and pricing directly off my phone when I'm filming to make sure I get them accurate. And I have no explanation as to why the pricing came up as $200.27, other than there was a website glitch, because I literally read them directly off my phone. Those, in my opinion, are odd numbers that I would not have made up. I would have rounded that and just said $200, or, you know, $201. I would have just said that was $200. But despite the price discrepancy, the boots themselves, they have been really, really good. Now, this is a smoother sole than what I normally wear, and especially in these cold, icy conditions, it's actually been gripping really, really well. Now, nothing grips well on ice unless you're wearing spikes, but they have actually been working out really, really well, and it's been a lot of ice. Today and yesterday have been the only 2 days where it has been warm. It's above 40 degrees the past 2 days, and it was 20, and everything was ice this morning because everything melted yesterday. But other than that, the past like 6 weeks, I think the highest temperature had been 28 degrees, 68, Jesus, 28 degrees, with the past 2 weeks, really the high, I think, might have been 12 to 18 degrees. That might have been the warmest it had gotten in the past like week. And we had wind chills last weekend of minus 15 to minus 25. So these boots have been out in some freezing cold temperatures, and these boots are crafted in India. I don't think it gets that cold in India, but they have been handling the cold and the crappy conditions just fine. They aren't unlined boots, so if I were to be working outside for any extended period of time in those weather conditions, I would not be wearing this. I would be wearing an insulated boot. But, you know, being outside, walking the dog after work, walking to and from the car, doing anything, taking my daughter to dance class, going out to dinner, something like that, totally fine, held up to the elements just fine. The insole has been incredibly comfortable. Yeah, it's been a pretty good all-around boot. And that brings me to the aesthetic, because it's made after a World War II service boot. So the aesthetic of this boot, I said this in the unboxing, it does blend with a lot of settings. Now, if you're wearing something like a cap toe, that is a more casual boot. You can't dress a cap toe up, but a plain toe service boot such as this, it actually fits into a lot more settings. I can wear this with a pair of jeans, like I got a pair of Selvage on now. I can go out and about and it's not going to bat an eyelash. I can also throw on a pair of khakis and a button down and wear this to the office, and it's also going to blend and fit in. So you don't have to buy multiple pairs of boots. You can get something like this, like the Boondocker, that has a classic vintage silhouette to it, and you could still wear it with a wide variety of clothing. You can wear it to the office, you can wear it out to the bar, you can wear it to the brewery. You could probably get a couple miles in on a trail in something like this. I mean, it is a service boot. These things were used in the military, after all, during World War II, so you can actually probably take this out on the trail. You might not get the best traction if you're in some muddy, wet conditions, but you know, it will probably handle those conditions well. And again, this insole's been pretty comfortable, so it'll probably be pretty comfortable doing so. But the big thing that I had the problem with was that price discrepancy and the fact that I could not get any clarification on it. So if anyone else has any clarification, or Craft and Glory, if you happen to see this, I will send you the link. Please either reach out to me or drop a comment down below and tell us why, because it seemed to be a bit hot topic for debate, why the price point was so drastically different from what I said, from what they actually are. But do I think these are worth that $350? It's a good, solid built boot, but the thing with at least my introduction to Craft and Glory was they were always a cheaper, reasonably priced alternative to a lot of these boots that start at about $350, $400. So once you start hitting a $350 price point, yes, they have a lot of different styles. They have a lot of different offerings, a lot of leathers and whatnot. Now, instead of being a more affordable version. They're just trying to direct compete with some other brands, and I think the price point for this, even though it is a well-made boot, it is very comfortable, it's been handling everything I've thrown at it perfectly. I think at $350 they might be pricing themselves out of the game. I think, while I thought $200 was an incredible price for this boot, I still think if this boot was $200, these would be flying off the shelves. I mean, that is a no-brainer price point. Buy it. I think $350 is reaching a little bit high for this boot. It still looks good, you know. Again, it has some pretty solid wear. Both of the boots, you know, you could tell they're worn. There's some nicks there on it. I mean, they've been worn. There's some creasing in the leather and on the toes, and I think you can maybe see at the heel, at least on the left boot, is looking a little bit wonky. So you could tell they're getting some wear and tear on them, but I don't think it's a $350 boot. I mean, I believe the hide is water buffalo, which is a lot different than people, at least in North America, are used to. Not used to water buffalo hide, so it does have a different feel to it. I will say it has a smoother, more shiny feel, if that makes sense, and it doesn't have, I would say, it doesn't have that like rugged feel of some of the hides, like the cowhide and stuff that we are used to in some of the North American boots that we get. Things that come out of America and like Leon, Mexico, generally feel like they have a little bit more rugged feel to them. So I think if this boot was $200, this would be a no-brainer buy all day. And again, it's been really comfortable. It's been a solid boot, but I think $350 is a bit much. I think the high end for this boot should be more like the $300 price range. I think this would be a solid buy, a no-brainer at $200. I think a solid buy at $250. I think max top this out would be like $275. Yeah, I think that's where this boot needs to be. It needs to come down at least $75, if not $100 to that price point. Again, great boot. It looks good. I like this color, the saddle tan color. I think I have 3 pairs of boots from Craft and Glory now in the saddle tan color. I like the color a lot. Honestly, in this one, I didn't even ask them for the color. I told them to surprise me, and they sent me saddle tan again, but I wasn't disappointed. I like the saddle tan. So the color of the boot looks good. They're durable. They're comfortable. I've done roofing in a pair of the Craft and Glory Mock Toe Explorer boots. Yeah, I've done a lot in Craft and Glory boots, and generally, I would say they are a solid buy. But I think the Boondocker is priced themselves out of the game. They put themselves right there with a pair of Iron Rangers, which, if you're looking for a service boot, although again, it's a cap toe, so it doesn't fit in as many settings. But I think when you put yourself in that price point of an Iron Ranger, even though you have a boot that you can wear in a wider variety of settings, I think people are going to just put that money into a Red Wing instead of the Craft and Glory boot. The thing with Craft and Glory was they were always a reasonably priced boot, especially if you're just getting into the heritage wear. And believe me, there's boots, and I know people are they always, oh, wait till they see the price of Nick's. Yes, I'm well aware of all of these boot companies that, you know, they start at like $700-800 for the boots and they go up from there. I'm well aware of that. I don't have pockets that deep, and I'm too small of a channel for those guys to even reply to an email, so that's why I don't have any boots reviewed by those companies, because I simply can't afford a pair of boots that are the same price as my mortgage. So I'm well aware that boots cost more than $350, and I actually spent the $350 on my Red Wings. I bought those with my own money. But once you hit that price point, once you start putting yourself in the Red Wing category, people are just going to get Red Wings. So Craft and Glory, you did a good job here. The boot is comfortable. It's well made. It looks good. It's going to wear good. This is something that's going to last you for years and years and years and years. But as soon as you hit that price point, that is the same as a major competitor, a brand that people are well aware of. The market is oversaturated in content on some of these brands. Once you match that, people are going to just go with that. So while this is a great boot, I think it is priced too high at $350. And I think if you can get these, or C&G drops the price point, $75 to $100, I think it's an all-day buy. $200, yes, no-brainer, buy. $250, good, solid price point. $275, I would say, max ceiling for something like this. But there you go. There's my honest-to-God opinion, my review. So C&G, if you would like to drop any comments either lay it on me, I can do an update video, or we can you could drop them in the comments below. I can even pin it to the top, that's fine, so people can find it much easier. So with that, I hope this video helped you in your buying decisions just a little bit. So with that, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications the next time I post a brand new video. Good night.